What's up guys, Curtis here and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be talking about something that I've wanted to talk about on this channel for quite some time. This is the story of how, why and just what made me quit YouTube. Why did I quit YouTube and how have things changed 3 years on. This is going to be a long video but I want to put quite a bit of time and effort into it. I've prepared not a script but like bullet points that I'm going to run through so that you guys know that I'm covering everything, so that I know I'm covering anything, but I also want to put a bit of production into this, so hopefully it's that little bit extra quality. A lot of people ask me, why did you quit YouTube? What made you do it? Well, this is kind of the explanation of everything that's happened, why I quit YouTube, and what I've been doing ever since. Now, part of this is also going to be, I am actually thinking about making some more videos, doing a few more FIFA pieces. So maybe if you could leave this a like, genuinely subscribe if you are interested, if it's your first time around here, and comment. I want to hear what you guys think. I want to chat with you guys. That's the one thing I miss, and that's partly why I'm making this video, is because I miss the comments and the interaction. So the headlines are going to be on the screen. I'm going to cover why did I quit YouTube, how did it happen, what my first 2 years at the first place I worked at, and then what this last year has been like at the second place, and then kind of what is the plan next. So the first question, I'm not going to waste too much time. The first question would be, why did I quit YouTube? Now, if you see me looking up there, that's where my notes are. They're on my TV up there. I've got my monitor set up and the TV at the top. But why did I quit YouTube? Now, quitting YouTube wasn't a premeditated planned thing. This wasn't something that I woke up and thought, right, my plan is now I'm going to quit YouTube. It happened kind of accidentally. July was actually the July before. So I started, for clarity, I started at my new job in September 2017. And in July, I'd had my highest ever viewed month, and August was my highest paid month on YouTube as well. So I had two amazing months that could have propelled me to kind of kick on. So it was nothing to do with performance. I know some people might think, oh, he was struggling with YouTube. That really wasn't the case. The only thing I was struggling with was doing YouTube, if that makes sense. Now, I've always been a really social person. I like to be around people. I'm a bit of I need people to bounce off me. And I got to a point in my life where I was kind of sat at home making YouTube videos every day on my own. You just make videos, you record, you edit, you live stream, which is great because you get that back and forth with viewers. But I needed to be out there and I needed to experience and live life. I'm what you would call a London file as well. I absolutely love London. I know a lot of people don't like London, but I wanted to be in London. I wanted to be there every day. I wanted to be working there. I wanted to be living there. And also, I didn't want to do YouTube forever. I wanted to get out of my bedroom and explore the world. Despite all of this though, I didn't have any actual intention to leave, and it wasn't something that I premeditated. So although I knew one day I wanted to leave YouTube, how it happened, I kind of fell into it. So like many people, I was just set up on LinkedIn. I had a LinkedIn account. I'd made a CV. It was just something that I had done, but I never proactively chased leads, never went, I wasn't searching for a job. But I also liked the networking aspect. It was good to build a network, even for brands, and for me to work with people as a YouTuber, it was good to do. But I was browsing one day and social media manager at Football Manager came up. Now, those of you that knew me at the time would know that I was a mega Football Manager fan. I set up a second YouTube channel, which I did something like 80 episodes of a Journeyman series on there. I would stream it constantly. It wasn't a moneymaker for me, but it was a passion. FIFA was my moneymaker, and Football Manager was the game that I absolutely loved. I'm sat here tonight recording, doing all these bits and bobs tonight. I'm still right there on one of my monitors is Football Manager. It's something I've played since 2004 when it was Championship Manager. My dad got me into it and I've played it my entire life. I played Championship Manager, I played Football Manager, and I've always been a mega fan of the game. So to see that come up, it was this could be pretty cool. Social media manager at Football Manager, but I had no idea what that would entail. Absolutely no idea. So I applied. I just went for it. I went ahead and applied. I'd obviously, had some interactions with Football Manager in the past because I'd created some content. They'd sent me some free bits. I remember the day they followed me on Twitter. I was sat in a rooftop terrace of a pub before an Arsenal game, and it came up and they were oh, we want to send you some hats and stuff. And I was over the moon. That meant more to me than a follow from FIFA because it was Football Manager. That was what I loved. So I applied just for the fun of it. I just thought, let's see what happens. This would be a good experience for me. And the call comes in, and they're doing group interviews and would like me to come along. Now, I was in Ireland. I'd booked a trip to Ireland with a friend. I was already out there and would be out there still for the interview. As much as I wanted the job, I didn't want to cancel my holiday and come home. And, I wasn't that desperate to leave YouTube. Do you know what I mean? I still was just wanting to see how things would go. Especially not knowing it would be a guaranteed thing. I didn't think it would happen. But luckily, they were able to make some time. I did kind of like an interview with the person who was the comms director, the communications director, and the marketing manager. Two amazing people that eventually went on to give me a chance, really. And, I'm always thankful for them to this day that, they gave me that step into the industry that was really cool. So, yeah, I managed to, sorry, I want to make sure I don't miss anything, so I keep checking up there. But, we went to did a normal interview. I'd never interviewed for anything before. I'd been a YouTuber since the age of 13, and the only part-time work I did was working for my dad at his electrical business. So that was it. I hadn't interviewed, so I went in there literally not a clue what to do. But I travelled up to London, did the interview, and it must have gone well because they asked me back for a second, and. At this point, I still didn't know if it was what I wanted to do. I was like, okay, sure, let's go back up for a second one. Let's just see what would happen. What was I doing? I was a YouTuber, making FIFA videos. Why did I think this was a good idea? But I went back up, and this time it was a second interview, and it was with Miles Jacobson. That he was also in the room. And those of you that are familiar with Football Manager, you will know who Miles Jacobson was. For me, as a Football Manager fan, he'd done the feature reveals every year. He was the prominent guy on Twitter. You knew who Miles Jacobson was, and it was oh my god, Miles Jacobson was going to be in here. So this time I had to go in. I had to pitch some ideas for content, things I would do on the social channels, and one of those ideas was the Creators Cup. And those of you that followed my work thereafter will know that we did the Creators Cup. We did it twice actually. It was a really cool campaign. We got to include talent and influencers and get proper people involved into a Football Manager campaign and influencers involved, which was great. There's one thing I've just noticed watching this clip back, which I thought was pretty cool. See this room? This is exactly where I actually interviewed. And see this TV here? This is literally the TV I pitched the Creators Cup on and presented on to Miles and the guys in the comms team. I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool to come full circle. And pitched a few other things, and they liked it. And so much so that actually they asked for a minute, or got up, left the room and walked back in and offered me the job. Now, I still went to this interview not expecting to be taking the job, and they walked back in and said, would you like this job? And I went, yeah, all right, shook their hand, and I thought, well, that's it. I'm now the social media manager at Football Manager, which was just none of it was planned, and it just kind of ended up happening, and I was over the moon. I got to go and work in an environment that epitomised everything I loved about gaming. It was guys that just adored football, that were passionate about gaming, that were passionate about football, that just... Oh, it was amazing, and I absolutely loved every minute of it. And, year one, I'm going to talk you through each bit now. So the first year at Football Manager, it was an amazingly developmental year for me. I stepped into a role that obviously, my experience was a YouTuber. That was that. I didn't go to university to study digital marketing. I'd taught myself through YouTube. Yeah, we jumped in and we were 6 weeks away from FM18. No, FM18? Yeah, it must have been FM18 launching. Yeah, we were 6 weeks away from FM18 launching. So the strategy was all in place, and I was basically dropped in, and I had to, fulfill the plans for social for that year, which was great. It was really good for me to just have kind of a bit of a blueprint there. This is what to do. This is how you jump in. I learnt loads about copywriting, about how to handle yourself as a brand rather than an influencer. And it was amazing. And there was loads of cool opportunities that came from that. I got to go to Watford's training ground loads of times whilst I was there. We shot some really cool content. We actually shot a video for Spencer's channel that I'm sure some of you guys saw, where Spencer trained with... the Watford under-21s, which was, really cool. We later went on to actually sponsor #United, which was, again, another really cool thing, loads of great opportunities. We got to go to things like Nordhoff Robins, where there was loads of cool names in football. Football Manager were a big sponsor there. So it was cool. And also, I got to play on Watford's pitch twice, which was pretty sick. I didn't score. I scored a penalty in the final of one of them, but didn't score. But I got to play on Watford's pitch, which was just, that was quality. You know, those are the sort of memories that will stay with you. So we, you know, in terms of actually what I did at Football Manager, it was the day-to-day management of the social medias. Anything that went out on any social media channel owned by Football Manager, I either posted it or someone working with me posted it with like that. It was crazy. I was now in charge of the game that I loved, social handles. So we went on to do Creators Cup. We did year one, which was a bit of a smaller event. We did it in the office, just in a meeting room. We got this amazing production crew in, which were just nuts. I absolutely loved them. We worked with them again the next year. But we put on this massive spectacle. We shot a big draft video, and then we shot some highlight snippets afterwards, and then like a big final event, which was crazy. And then we launched the FM show, which was something, you know, new to the Football Manager YouTube channel. That was, you know, myself and Tom Davidson, who was the PR manager at Football Manager. I dragged him in, kicking and screaming, to get involved in me with these videos, and you know, we created some really cool content. We got to interview people from the studio, get the insight from like the match engine, the guys behind the match engine, QA, lots of different teams, the researchers, some amazing people. And we got to kind of like share their story and what they do with people who are fans of Football Manager, which I thought was really cool, you know, to be able to empower it, and, you know, to have the ability to, again, I keep saying it, for a brand that I loved, like Football Manager, to say, right, we're going to shoot an episode of the FM show. Here's what I'm going to put in it. Here's how I'm going to shoot it. Here's how we're going to interview them. Here's how I'm going to edit it. And here's how it's going to go up. Like, we did the production for the FM show, like, from start to finish. It was amazing. And we got to interview like Stephen Finn, the cricketer. There was loads of really cool things. And we also, you know, we launched on Nintendo Switch for the first time. So we had a campaign away from our main launch. Lots of sick stuff. But I'm not going to dwell on that for too long. Then year 2 came around. This was the second year at Football Manager. And we started off with the World Cup. It was World Cup 2018. This was right at the start, before the next Football Manager came out, and it was mad because we didn't have licensing to use World Cup, but we wanted to get involved. So I produced, directed, and edited a series of, we called it Summer of Football Previews, where we looked at players who could be really exciting at the World Cup, who were a lot of fun in Football Manager, and kind of merged the two worlds together. But I also got to enjoy like every kick of it from our incredible new office. We'd just moved to this new office in Stratford, which was just unbelievable. Like, the facilities in it were crazy. It was the broadcast centre for the Olympics, you know, however many years along, and it had been changed into this new building. We had some amazing facilities, so I got to just like enjoy the World Cup in this amazing place, surrounded by you know, football fans. So that was cool. And we also, you know, for the FM show, we got to then interview people like Raphael Honigstein, a Bundesliga football expert, and we had the Bundesliga in Football Manager for the first time. So that was now our new focus, and it was amazing. So this was the first time that, you know, the game was coming out, and I'd been here since, you know, the start. I was there when the development started. I got to, you know, we got an insight into how everything was happening. So not only did I get to be on the dev floor and see all this amazing stuff kicking around us, but I then got to plan our strategy for social, for FM19, and you know, plan how we were going to execute the wider campaign. And it was a massive year for Football Manager. Those of you that are fans of it will know that Manager Man was dropped from the cover. We completely rebranded everything about Football Manager. The logo changed, the colour suite changed, the fonts, the in-game look, everything got rebranded, and it came through our communications team. And that then meant that we built a suite of you know, deliverables and things to go onto our social channels. So all of these templates, these brand guidelines, it was really cool, and to be kind of at the heart of it, of this massive change. We shot some amazing campaigns in that second year. We went to Sky to shoot a video with Monday Night Football with Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville, which was mad. Like, to be in the production area of Monday Night Football, we were in their ears, like we were pushing the button. It was nuts. It was absolutely mental. I was part of the shooting for the trailers, like the teaser trailer we did, and then the main trailer. I even made a little appearance at one point. I thought, got to chuck yourself into it. It had to be done. We went to Gamescom. We had a booth out in Gamescom because we were launching in Germany for the first time. That was nuts. Just so many crazy opportunities. Watford, loads of different things. But also for me, it was a great year to personally develop and grow. So then this leads on to the next part. So during the time whilst we launched FM19, I also led on an influencer campaign that we ran. So, with my background being influencers, I wanted to work with influencers and I wanted to work with influencer talent. And we worked with a lot of the FIFA guys I knew, and naturally all of these guys were managed by Digital Sports Management. Digital Sports Management are an agency, and I'm going to come on to tell you more about them shortly. But at the end of the campaign, after working with like Nep, Fangs, Itani's, way back, people like that, I went out with the management for just a little lunch from Digital Sports Management, and we just had a nice little lunch and a catch up. And then I guess fast forward to the end of that cycle, when we get to August, Digital Sports Management were expanding and they brought on a digital and social media manager, which was me. So before we get to that, we still had, we were in January of 2019. The FM20 was planned. We were working on a strategy for that. And I prepared the strategy for the FM20 game, which again was great for me to get a second look. What we were able to do is we were able to analyse how FM19 campaign went, and we could now plan for FM20 and change what worked and what didn't, and base it off that. But I left before it happened. So I joined Digital Sports Management. I became the digital and social media manager there. They approached me and I wanted to try something new. I had had 2 full cycles and 2.5 cycles essentially of Football Manager releases, and I wanted to try something different. Football Manager was amazing, but the one thing that will stick with me is that where you release every year at the same time, you're very set in what you do, and that's amazingly useful, but it means August 12th we're going to do this, and you get into a bit of a routine, and I kind of wanted to freshen it up a little bit. So when this opportunity came, I thought, let's go for it. And same as what I did when I joined Football Manager, an opportunity happened and I took it. So as of August last year, I joined Digital Sports Management. I started the process of leading their digital and social output and managing the roster of influencers. So you'll be familiar with everyone that DSM represent. You've watched pretty much all of them. We've got Andy, Bateson, Nep. Everyone you can think of in FIFA is here, and it's been a really interesting first year. I've been able to lead on loads of quality campaigns in that time. I'm sure you guys saw the Formula 1 takeover that swept Twitch in July. That came from me. That was our campaign. That was we worked with Codemasters and I put that plan together, and we saw it come to fruition. We saw millions of people watching. Millions of views on Formula 1 on content, which was just amazing. So that's been a lot of fun, to do that full circle and come back to FIFA. But yeah, chances are, if you've seen an ad on a FIFA channel in the last 12 months, chances are we've been involved in some way. But then I've also had the pleasure of working with some of our amazing clients that aren't influencer based things. So we've worked with the FA, we've done, not sure if you saw the E-Lions campaign at the start of this year, that was Digital Sports Management. We've worked on shoots with some Wolves players with one of our other clients. I worked with Alex Lacazette with Xbox, that was quality, and loads of cool stuff. So it's been an amazing year for me to dive a bit further back into influencer and that world and step away a little bit from the social output, the consistent social output, but it's been amazingly fun. And I've been there for a year now, and I guess that takes us to the what's next. So I've now wrapped up 1 year at DSM, and I'm really excited for many more to come. I'm sticking at DSM for the long haul. We've got loads of exciting stuff planned in the future, and we're only hoping to expand and get bigger and better and take on more YouTubers that you watch. But that kind of then brings me on to a little bit of why this video was then made. I kind of want to spend a bit more of my spare time and use it a bit better to see if I can do the odd YouTube video again. I have loved these last 3 years, and taking the step back from YouTube was the best thing I ever did, and I'm so happy I did it. I grew as a person massively. I now live and work in London. I've got family in London. I'm really happy with the way my life has turned and where the direction I'm in now. But I do miss the YouTube interaction and the YouTube content creation, the gratification you get from making a video and having people watch it. There's something about dropping a video and seeing those real-time numbers go up as people are watching it, and comments and likes are popping in, and then you have a video that pops off. That is a dopamine hit that is unmatched by anything else you can ever do. And I just want to have a bit of fun with it again. So I want to make better use of my spare time. I want to dive into YouTube a little bit more and try and make some content. You know, we've got FIFA 21 coming up. Let's have a bit of fun with it, and I think, you know, it could be really interesting. So I guess if you guys are interested in that, it would be cool if you could, you know, let me know down below if you watched this far. I don't know if you did, but it's the first time I've just sat and ranted at a camera for 25 minutes and just spilled my brain. I definitely would have missed things because, you know, I basically took all these notes just based on my camera roll on my phone. But yeah, if you want to, you know, drop a like, give me a comment. It'd be great to hear from you guys. And thank you so much for watching. Thanks for listening to my story. And I will see you guys, hopefully, on some FIFA content very, very soon. Bye, guys.